I'm standing here with Ricus. He's an antique dealer from, based between Holland and Johannesburg, and he has a varied collection, mostly Dutch and European antiques, but he does have an eclectic mix that he'd like to tell us about. And I think you have some Chinese antiques you'd like to describe to us?
Yeah, we are standing here in front of an 18th century burr walnut show cabinet. And you have to see that nowadays a status symbol is a Lamborghini or a Rolex. But in the 18th century in Holland, the status symbol was Chinese porcelain. And these cabinets are specially designed and made to show a wealth of Chinese porcelain. The Dutch in the 17th and 18th century were the biggest traders in the world in Chinese porcelain. They were even 5 times bigger than the English East India Company. And they were buying this Chinese porcelain. The oldest one is this here, it's Wan Li, Emperor Wan Li, pre-1620. Others are Kangxi, the blue and white porcelain here, pre-1722. And others are Shen Lung, that are the two top shelves. That's the emperor who reigned between 1735 and 1796. And those were brought by the Dutch East India Company to Holland, mainly Amsterdam, and were then sold to all kind of different European countries like France, like Germany, like Portugal, like England. And so these examples, most of them are what the Chinese called export porcelain, because the designs were brought by the Dutch to China to fulfill the tastes of the Dutch and European public. So like if you see these plates here, for instance, these colorful plates, they called Family Rose porcelain. They are designed in what we call the Rococo style. So it's an asymmetrical style and very playful. It's going over the border of the plate, the decoration. And those type of decorations the Chinese never kept for themselves. They were really designed for the European market to fill this kind of show cabinets. This, however, like a piece like this, it's Wan Li, so that's before 1620. Very old porcelain. That was also kept by Chinese people themselves, but it was also exported. The first ship with this porcelain arrived in 1602 in Holland, and it was auctioned. And then Chinese porcelain became the big fashion of the day.
Because from where I'm standing, it looks like a lot of the pieces aren't marked. Are they in fact marked? How do you identify them?
Some are marked. Look like this one you see is marked. This is the mark of the Emperor Kangxi, which is before 1722. But in fact, the Chinese were only marking them if they were intending to keep them in China.
I see.
Because the Europeans couldn't read these marks anyway. So what sense would it be to mark them? But sometimes it was not so clear when they made the porcelain if it was going to be exported or so they would put a mark for the case it would stay in China.